is what day? Friday, October the 10th. It is currently 56 degrees. Brr. The high today is supposed to be 82. The low is supposed to be 56. There's not a chance of rain today. What are we doing today? Today we are doing a couple of things. I'm gonna take some compostable materials down to the garden. If you checked out the title, we got some sugar cane today. We're gonna process some sugar cane to get ready to plant, and we are just going to do a little garden maintenance. Just gonna do a little bit of cleaning, just a little bit. Flipper ripper. Look at look at look at the tropical hibiscus. Purdy flower this morning. Purdy flower. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. Probably should put a jacket on, a sweater, a hoodie or something. It's on the chilly side. There go the sugar cane right there. Just kind of trying to put my stuff somewhere out the way. All right, well, there's the sugar cane. We got a hatchet, a cleaver. It's not a hatchet. Got a cleaver, a knife, and a hammer. But first things first, we are going to head to the compost. Well, we're going to head to one of these worm towers. I'm going to add some material to this one. This is the newest one. I was looking at it the other day, trying to see what was in there what was in there. Not much. Not much. So I added some more stuff. I put up a couple of these squash that weren't doing so hot. Like this one. This was not doing hot either. Try to really leave the roots, but I ain't have my pruner in here. So we just snip that all out. Usually I leave these roots. Not bad, I'm looking at them. Put them up in there. That's kind of how that goes. Then, see how the rest of it goes. Flowers in here. Those up in there. Yeah. Yep, paper towel tubes, toilet paper tubes, you want to put them in there. Now those will work better if you cut them up. The smaller you make the pieces that you put in your compost, any form of compost, the faster they work. The faster they get broken down. And we have this. It's not even supposed to be in this bag. There we go. Now that's filled up. We're gonna let that sit there for months. We can check it weekly if you like. All right, we're gonna put the bag in the big compost. We already got a bag over there, so we're gonna put this over here. All right. Get some trash. What else will we need? We will also need a bucket for what we have to do. All right, let's check on this. Let's see how this JLF is doing. Doesn't look bad. Oh, I need another top. Don't look bad. Get that a stir. All right. Top that back up. Now we got that done. Let's look at this sugar cane. We're gonna process some sugar cane. Went to the fair yesterday for lunch, and saw that the Alcorn State booth was. Oh, at the time I didn't realize it was Alcorn. I saw somebody with what looked like a trailer full of crushed sugar cane, and they were boiling something. So I asked. I was like, "Hey, y'all making syrup?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like, it's sugar cane? And he was like, "Yeah." "You know how to do this?" And I was like, "Nah, I didn't see videos on it. I ain't never done it." So I asked him, I said, "So who grows the sugar cane? You know what I'm saying? Where y'all get it from?" And they was like, Alcorn. Told me the story. And then the guy was like, "Man, why don't you come back through here since y'all just made it on your way out, and then we could talk a little bit about growing sugar cane." I told him I was interested in growing sugarcane. So on the way out, we stopped by, uh, talked to him briefly, and we exchanged not information. We didn't exchange personal information. We just exchanged information. Mostly he exchanged information. I was listening. And he was telling me what I should do and how I should grow it. He was basically just saying put this whole thing into the ground. But I'm not at a point right now to where I can plant this right now. So he also said the last 2 weeks in the house, if I just put it in a climate control area for 2 weeks, it'll stay good. But we're not planning on planting until like November. So what I plan on doing is eating the sugar cane for one, but processing these little joints. This is where the sugar cane are gonna grow new shoots at. Matter of fact, I think this is probably one of the little shoots. So we're gonna plant this, if I'm not mistaken, shoot side up, or probably sideways. Because if you look at this plant, they are not all in line. There's one right there. Then put my finger there, and the other one is like right there. And so this one is here, this one is there. You can see how they kind of alternate on either side of the plant. So what we're gonna do is one, I'm gonna show you guys how I process the sugar cane to keep the joints and to eat it. So I'm just gonna go back about, I don't know, an inch or so from the joint to where I ain't getting the joint, give it a little bit of something to live on. We're gonna do it like that. I'm not even gonna attempt to cut this. It's like my granddaddy cutting off catfish eggs. He messes with a hammer and a knife. So we're just gonna take this one little joint just so you guys can see. I'm not gonna process it all. You know, I honestly should though. Because what I wanna do is pick up that piece of sugar cane that I'm about to put in my mouth. Is to let these joints dry. I'm gonna treat it like ginger. I'm gonna let these joints dry, I don't know, a couple days to a week. I have no clue how long it's gonna take. And then once they're dry on the ends, then we'll plant them in a pot. I'm gonna treat them like I would potatoes or ginger. If you cut your potatoes to keep the eyes, then you should let that part scab over, so it's less chance that this softer, wetter material will rot in the ground before you do what you need to do. So we can get 3 more joints out of here. I'm demonstrating, but let's go here. I need to go and get this done, honestly. No, we just don't do these 2. All right, I'm gonna stop right there. I got some other stuff to do. Why am I back and forth? Let's get it done. I gotta make up my mind. Let's go and get it done. Get her done. So hopefully by this time next year, we'll be getting ready to harvest sugarcane. Grand day, how's it going? I hope you're having a lovely day. I hope you're out in your garden as well, drinking you some coffee or some tea. Doing your morning inspirational devotional. All right. I hadn't had sugarcane since my grandfather bought it. And I guess he got it from the local grocery store when we were kids. All right. And this last little thing doesn't have a viable joint on it, but we're going to cut it off because it's going to make it easy to peel. Now, I've eaten a couple pieces last night. Of course, I had to intro my kids to this stuff too, right? No idea. Some of them liked it, some of them not so much. But not yet about to, that's what's up. But yeah, had to process it. Well, had to show the kids. My grandfather put me on to this. I feel like it's part of my duty to put my kids on the same thing. So once we get the knots cut off, and like I said, we're keeping the knots. We're gonna keep these little knots, let this part dry out. Then we'll put this in some soil, grow a shoot, and we'll plant the shoot. Now to peel this stuff, it's not really that difficult. I mean, I guess you need a sharp knife. Yes, you do need a sharp knife, but you're not gonna really use the knife no more than just starting it, like right here. And at this point, I just pull it off. One of the kids was like, "Oh, don't cut yourself." I was like, "Bro, I appreciate the concern, but I ain't really cutting." And I've been using the knife longer than you've been living. No, I didn't say that. I just told him, thank you for the concern. I just told him I'm not really cutting it for real, as much as just pulling. Now, once you cut it, I'm not going to put this on this dirty thing because I'm going to eat it. So we're going to kind of gently roll it. This is probably when I cut myself right here. I'm actually just rolling with my left hand. My right thumb is just kind of a placeholder. Yep, and that would fall on this dirty thing before I put it in my mouth. But we still gonna do it. Flipper ripper. And we got some sugar cane. We got some sugar cane. And all you do is chew it. Well, y'all way too close to me. And spread out the pulp. That's it. I'm composting the rest of the pieces. Just toss them in the compost. They're really woody. It is good. And that's it. That's it. Chew the little pea. Chew the pulp. Get the juice out. And spit out the rest. So good, so good. Now I've heard people, I used to cut mine in little chunks, like little half-inch, 1-inch chunks. And then at some point, we started to freeze them as kids. But I've heard people say their dad, granddad, or whomever used to split it. It does split fairly easily too. Like it wants to split. And made like little sticks out of them, so I can see that too. It does. It brings back so many memories, so many fun memories of Gramp. Shout out to Gramp, hold it down, cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They'll be out here today. Grandpa and Grandma, they'll be out here today while I'm in the garden. It'll be some bird talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll be lucky enough for a butterfly, a hummingbird to like land on me to let me know for sure. But yeah, brings back memories. Super fun. Hold on. Let me prop this thing up here. Let me see if I can cut this thing like 2 more times so I can be on my way. Cut it without cutting my show. I'm trying to make these pieces manageable so I can talk with my mouth full. And that's the, yeah. Yeah, that's good. Now let's do this. Get out my face. Flipper ripper. That's what we have left. The 3 longer pieces on the right. That's what we eat. Those 4 little knots are what we're gonna grow. I'm not finna eat all this. I'm gonna eat a little bit of. I've been eating it last night. I did not check my blood sugar first thing in the morning to see how this affects my blood sugar. I really ain't thinking terribly, but I still need to see. Now at this point, I'm gonna finish smacking on this sugar cane. And what we're gonna do is, since I'm walking and eating, we're gonna start taking stuff out to where we're gonna put some work in. And whoa, where am I going? Let's start up here first. I said we're gonna do a little maintenance today. We're just gonna basically, I saw something that caught my attention. We're gonna mess with the strawberries today. We're gonna just do a little cleaning on the strawberries. Probably sometime today we gotta go get soil components so we can mix up some more soil, because there are things we need to transplant and propagate. And we need soil components. Even if we're gonna refresh the old soil, we still don't have the proper components to do that for the stuff that we keep around the homestead. Sugarcane in the morning, baby. All right. Stop looking at me. I'm gonna let y'all look at something else. Y'all done see me eat sugarcane. That's enough of me. To the end of the stream. Now let's see how we're gonna do this. I'm thinking for this area up here, I think I'm gonna let y'all ride on my chest. I'm trying to see what can I put y'all that's gonna actually allow y'all to see what I'm doing and not be blinded by the sun, because it's on my back right now. Guess we're gonna have to see if this works. I'm sorry, I gotta keep walking back to the compost. My last piece of sugar cane for right now. I'm actually kind of excited. Oh, we do. I was just about to talk about y'all bad woman. Like, y'all barely gave me tomatoes this year. We struggled with tomatoes this year. I'm not even gonna lie. Not a real big deal, but we did. Probably should have put my hoodie on so I can get that warm hood. So I can get that warm hood. All right, let's do this. Let's cop a squat right here. See how this thing gonna play, and then we'll move on from here. Let's see. All right, and all we doing is just, if it look dead, getting it up out of here. We gonna hope that that push out in a good spot. It's just gonna be dead in the way. Dead in the way. I just pulled up a strawberry. We're gonna replant that strawberry. See, I just pulled them up. Unless you know how shallow rooted these strawberries truly are. They're not deep at all. Matter of fact, that's two of them. So we're gonna separate these. So, I kind of hate that we don't have soil components. Because if we had soil components, what I would do is clean out this bed. Anything I pull out by mistake, I pull out by mistake. I'll add some more soil, refresh it with bone meal, blood meal, azomite. I think we still have a little bit left, and I would replant in this planter. So I'm gonna have to make these plants, man, because this is two plants. This is two. So is that a squirrel dropping acorns out the tree? I mean pine cones or bird? That's them birds I was talking about. My grandparents probably. One of them sound like a crow. I don't know if that's good or bad. I think a crow is possibly a bad thing, but not for real though. They ward off so many other birds. So who knows? They maybe ward off evil spirits or something too. But this is two separate ones. Oh, I am lying. This is one. Oh, my bad. Y'all can't see what I'm doing. This is one. What happened was this was the crown. Right where my thumb is. It died and split off twice. But these don't look like they want to come loose. And they look like they're on the same root. It's a double strawberry. But we're going to just move this to the side for now. Clean out this some more. We're going to just pop that back in the ground. That should be fine. And I should stop pulling. And I should start cutting. And what pulled that out was me pulling on the runner that's attached to it that grew another plant. Or probably the runner that grew this one. And it gets woody and it's tough. And it doesn't snap easily. So I end up pulling out. This is a strawberry crown. A dead one, but this is a strawberry crown. You know what? I think I'm going to start trying to create some bare root strawberries. I don't know how to do that. If you've ever bought strawberries, there's two ways you can buy them. Three ways you can buy them. You can buy them seed, you can buy live plants, or you can buy bare root. Excuse me. I bought all three. I bought seeds, I bought bare root. I am lying. I've never bought a live strawberry plant. Just seeds and bare roots. Of course, I sell live strawberry plants. See if we can get these two hands working without driving y'all world insane. Okay. Now with strawberries, it seems you're gonna have to do this like every 3 years, maybe. Because it's about 3 years I've had these, and one plant is usually really productive for about 3 good years, and at that point they start to die off. But the way they propagate and multiply, once you plant strawberries in a spot, unless you digging up the strawberries for whatever reason, the runners, they should self-sow. They should replant themselves. And all you may have to do is just come through and make it look pretty. I mean, if I don't make it look pretty, nature gonna still happen. The plants that's gonna die. You know what I'm saying? We keep coming up with these little bitty bitties, these little buddies. And what's gonna live is going to live. So you got you a little buddy on the end. We're gonna let that stay attached. So I'm not in a proper position to verify and to actually make sure that that will live if I pop it off right now. So we are not. I'm trying to make sure I keep these runners intact because we're going to use these runners to make more strawberries. It's getting cool. Should be easier to propagate them now without the weather being hot. Yeah. So this is the boring part to me. This is the cleanup part, the part that has to be done, but nobody likes doing it. I try to psych myself out and be like, oh yeah, I'm creating compostable material, baby. It's creating more plant food. But the reality of it is, this is boring. But this is the way. Anybody ever watch The Mandalorian? This is the way. Mando, Din Djarin, him and Grogu, or Baby Yoda as everybody call him. So right now we just kind of getting rid of, and you know, I hope y'all, I think y'all barely getting this because of me moving around. You know what? Let's do this. We're gonna go get the stand. We're gonna put y'all in a stationary position. And hopefully that's a little bit better. I can move more freely. And I'm not messing up y'all's what you guys are seeing. So we gonna get it like this. We gonna get her done. Oh, it's a lovely day. Lovely day. Lovely day. It's probably about time for another tripod stand. I'm about to step on this thing one time, but not paying attention. Stepped on one leg. Flipper ripper. Now it's acting all capped. It's acting all capped. Let's see if we can. Is that a decent angle? Let's see if we drop it down a little bit. Let's see if we make. We're gonna see how that goes. I don't have cinematography degrees. And pruners. That's good. Don't step on the babies. Now I can move freely. Alright, we getting this ugly one up out of here. I think we are trying to see what it looks like, what it's doing, what's being done to it. Can y'all? Yeah. Y'all ain't gonna be able to see 100%, but I think y'all get the gist. Now, this strawberry is ready to come up out of here, it seems. But it has some kids on it, some runners. So, like I said, we're gonna wait. So this will be a little cleaner, and then we'll come back in to, I say replant it to add more soil. Now I'm not gonna try to pull up. I say that and I started thinking, depending on how many strawberries are actually viable strawberries are left in here, I may pull them all up, add soil, and then replant them all. Because I do need to add soil. I mean, I added soil knowing it was going to settle over time. And strawberries like their crown covered. That's one easy way to kill a strawberry. So I was already knowing at some point I was going to have to deal with adding more soil to here. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I just knew I was going to have to. So this seemed to be the route we're going to take. It's going to be easy if I put the photo closer. I reach behind. Alright. That's kind of ugly, but we're going to let that be. This is going to get some more pruning. Please believe. You know what? Why we here? Let's just get all the ugly leaves. Now let me give me a better idea of what's going on. Take the uglies, gonna try to leave the, as I say, try to leave the runners I cut. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even gonna chance it with these. These look, see, that's not fair for me to say these look bad because of the holes in the leaves. Because this could still take root, and these outside leaves will die off, and then they grow more from the center. So we're gonna put this back over to the side too. We're gonna hold on. See if we can get a good stand of strawberries this year, next season, next spring. This is probably like one of the few times I try to make things look pretty is when I'm pruning. The other times I will remove dead and dying leaves. Not necessarily for the aesthetic purposes, but because sick parts of the plant are the vulnerabilities of the plant, right? If a leaf looks sick, damaged, or diseased, and that's where pests and disease is going to try to attack, right? The sick parts. It's like wild animals. Animals that hunt in the wild, they looking for the sick, the old. They're looking for the old and the weak. Old and the weak. So it's old and the young. Those are the most vulnerable. And that's why the herd protects them. They put the old and the young in the center. Crazy how animals got sense enough to do that, but not us people. We victimize the old and the young. Trash. suit on. Alright, this is going to look great. And I also need to put down straw. I need to definitely find, I guess, a straw mulch for these strawberries. Because this year we lost more strawberries to slugs and bugs, slugs and peel bugs than we did to the birds. We covered them, the ones that we actually wanted to keep, we covered. But I did not put down any mulch in the off season this time of year. I'm not gonna make that mistake again. That's kind of disappointing to have some decent sized strawberries, and you know, if they touch the ground, peel bugs started eating, or slugs started eating. So we're not gonna repeat that. We learned. We F-A-F-O. We F'd around and we found out. So now we ain't no point in doing that same thing again, right? It's time to learn something different. Alright, so let's see what we got. Good deal. Good deal. Hope y'all love the editing content. Fall off the stool in a hot second. We'll definitely give you guys a look at it, see what it looks like after. Sorry, cousin. Alright. Strawberries grow everywhere. Every which way. Get out my face. My face, Greg. Get out my face. And if you've ever cleaned your garden, you know what I'm saying, pruned up your plants when they looking overgrown at the end of the season, whatever. There's a sense of satisfaction. I mean, they do look better. They do look better once you prune them. And I say, behave better. Looking good, feeling good, right? Let's try it. Maybe. Wrenching. That was one of my grandma words. Wrench. Wrench it off. Wrench over there and hand it to me. Alright. Wait, I have not checked the chat. My bad. I just been working. I have not checked the chat. What we talking about here? My bad. Good job, sir. Support and subscribe. Oh, yeah, I appreciate that. Oh, you're in Norway. Wow. That's a long way away. Appreciate the love. Good morning, headed out to massage someone. I thought I'd check in. You know what, Robin? I appreciate that, man. I hope your session goes great. I hope everybody gets the release that they're looking for in their massage. Whether it's an emotional release, physical release, however that works out. And thanks for tuning in. I hope my content is the type of content that does help you vibe out and get in the zone before doing whatever you have to do. Hopefully, I hope it's funny and informative. I'm gonna be for real, because I'm a big kid and I'm a clown in you. So I hope it's funny and informative. So I guess that's entertaining, huh? I hope it's entertaining. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? That's a crow, baby. Be glad it is. I am Maximus Rex. I am Maximus? No, Maximus Rex. It was just Maximus. General of the armies of the North. I appreciate the love. Appreciate y'all for stopping by, watching the dude be barefoot in the dirt. Hey, I was out here about a month or two ago. I was out there tilling barefoot, where somebody dropped in the comments, is he out there tilling barefoot? I was like, yeah. Like, am I worried about running with my own feet? Stop it. Yeah, I step on stuff all the time. Get by daily. But that's the price to pay when you're barefoot and connected with the earth. The earth, EARF. Okay. Alright, making some progress. I dreaded doing this. I'm gonna be for real. One, they just look bad. And then two, this is boring. Picked a great time to do it though. Feels amazing. It's chilly out here. I'm gonna be for real. It's not that bad. The wind is not blowing. It's 50 something degrees. And I saw that thing say 59 degrees. I was like, bro, I'm gonna go grab my hoodie. But then I walked out here in some shorts. And I was like, okay. I'm not gonna need the hoodie, but I gotta cover up my little bird legs. Not because they little, but because they get cow legs. Little stuff get cow legs. Because I could have rubbed them together and made a fight. Let me stop it. Y'all gonna quit talking about my legs. Y'all gonna quit talking about my legs. My mama gave me these. Alrighty. Making progress. Making progress, Creed. Alright. We're gonna put you back in here, love. We're gonna give you a chance to make it, bro. We're gonna give you a chance to make it. Okay, let's get that up out of y'all. Try not to remove too much of the quote unquote mulch. And by mulch, I mean pine straw that has fallen in here and whatever leaves are left in here. That's all organic material that needs to be returned back to the soil. But pine needles take forever to break down, though. They do. I don't think they're really that acidic. From my understanding, once pine needles and stuff like that lose the green color, they also lose their acidity. That's what I heard somebody else say. I did not research it. Well, actually, I did do a quick little Google search. But I'm not going to really call that research. I looked it up and saw something that said similar. Because we do grow blueberries. I'm trying to find a way to make the soil acidic without having to buy that expensive soil acidifier. It'd probably be cheaper just to buy elemental sulfur as opposed to buying, I would say pH down. You know what I'm saying? Soil acidifier, which is a pH down. But that'll probably be cheaper. Because with elemental sulfur, you just getting 100% elemental sulfur. There are no fillers. Whenever you're buying bagged fertilizers or please believe if you ever look at the bag, it's probably 1% of whatever active ingredient is, and the other 99% are inert materials. That's filler. We are paying all that for filler. I have to find out how to use elemental sulfur. Okay, what rate should I use to try to bring down the pH? That's just a little bit of Googling. Chat GPT, if that's your thing. If you trust Skynet like that. Somebody called me at work asking me about that. Do you doing that AI stuff? I said, nah, bro, I don't F for AI bro, like that, bro. Skynet gonna get you. He kind of paused. I was like, you for real? I was like, nah, bro. Skynet ain't gonna get you. It's not gonna be called Skynet. That's from Terminator. It's gonna be called something else. And he was like, are you for real? And I was like, nah, bro. I'm just talking. Of course, I use AI a little bit. It's important. It has its uses. Okay, we getting to the bottom of this thing. Into the thick of it. Into the thick of it. Spend my time around too many little cheese. Alright, this doesn't look bad. We're at a point now. We can call this one, you know what I'm saying? For the most part, you know what I'm saying? Done-ish. Alright, now what we're going to do is just kind of use these tools improperly. We're just going to waddle out a little hole. Drop this up in here down to the root ball. to the, you know what I'm saying? The crown. Not bury the crown. Let me call that fair. Wait. People talking. What people talking about? Do I have a compost pile? Chow. Yeah, we got several actually. Let me flip a rip and show you what we got, Robin. We have what I call a worm tile, which is a compost pile. It is basically a bucket, 5-gallon bucket with holes drilled in the sides and the bottom, buried into the garden. And as you see it, we just drop compostable materials in there. The worms coming through the garden, they eat, leave the garden and poop, and then they leave worm compost in there. And I take out the worm compost and we use it. Each one of those beds, get on somewhere. Oh, that's probably my grandparents. My bad. That's probably my grandparents. I'm shooting off my grandparents. Two birds, same looking bird, just flew off. One flew that way. Y'all can see it. Yeah. One flew over there and one flew toward the fence behind that tree. I was just talking about my grandparents. That's probably who that was. I'm up here shooing them off. My bad, grandma. No disrespect. I ain't mean that. We're gonna grab this. My bad. I know I'm changing the subject. We're gonna grab this 1010 okra. This ink room in 1010. It's starting to split. That's the time to harvest it. We're gonna take it in the house to let it finish drying. But yeah, I got some chai. You know I heard chai. Yeah, I got compost piles. Each bed will have one of those compost towers. We only have two currently. One in mother, and then the second in clay face. And as you can see, clay face needs a new top. I have to get new tops like every year because the sun just destroys them. But it's the same thing. Um, oh, you know what? Now, here's what I also think. If you hit up the dollar store in your area and just go get a mesh basket and find some way to put a top on it, like a dollar store mesh waste can at the office out of the office section, will work great. And then probably if you found one of those splatter guards in the little in the cooking section at the farmers market at the dollar store, you could probably find a way to attach that to the bucket, to the waste can, probably with zip ties through one of the existing holes. And that way you can keep animals out of it. That's what the top is for. But yeah, we have some small bags. I don't know what these bags are called. I call them forklift bags because they're sturdy enough and they're usually filled with material heavy enough to be picked up by a forklift, and they survived it. They've been out here for, oh, excuse me. They've been out here for like 3, 4 years now. We had another kind and it disintegrated, so we got rid of that one. But these have held up. They allow water to pass through. I don't think they allow worms in, but other bugs can get in. So these are just more compost bins. And here's how we compost. We do lazy man composting. Technically, this is leaf mold because we don't turn it. Because we don't turn it, it does not break down fast. So we'll stack this stuff up and then we'll give it a year. So like unless we really need compost, I dismantle it and get the compost, whatever's created at the bottom. Then I just put it back together. But we kind of let these things sit here. It's the time of year, it's fall now. They're gonna start. The people in my subdivision gonna start putting out leaves. So on trash day, I'm going to collect leaves, and I'll be filling these up with leaves. We'll also put leaves anywhere else. We'll use them as mulch. And at the back of the fence, we grow sunflowers during the summer. So I'll fill that back area up with leaves and just let them sit until the spring. That's how I do lazy girl compost. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, and just let it sit. I mean, after now, the plan is to get like four of these total. So then that way I have something to harvest every quarter. That's the plan. My homeboy has some more of these hog panels. These aren't cattle panels, hog panels. And then I'm not gonna put T-post on those. We have all these branches over here, so I'm gonna just grab some straight ones and make some posts. Slide all this to the right, dig some post holes. All it needs is like 3. And then wrap it up, fill them up. Oh yeah, you do compost. You gotta do compost, right? Now, one good thing about this type of compost is that it's fungally dominated. You know what I'm saying? Most of the fungus are doing the job of breaking down everything. Fungally dominated compost is really good for trees. Um, any type of worm compost or compost that you turn frequently, it will be bacterial dominated compost. And so there's a difference. You do need both in the garden. For the garden veggies, they like more bacterial, uh, more bacteria rich compost than fungal rich compost. But this is nature, baby. Keep it all in balance. Nature needs the anaerobes as well as the aerobes. So they need the stuff that don't like oxygen, and it needs the stuff that do like oxygen. It just needs to keep it in balance. For real, that's what's up. Hey, I'm trying to grow oyster mushrooms. I purchased some year before last to try to grow. It failed, but I put them outside over in that corner. I wasn't really trying to do them. I was trying to find the lazy man way of doing it. Can I put them somewhere and kind of not really pay attention to them and see what happened? That didn't work. So this next time I'm going all out. I'm a, I'm a, uh, I'm gonna sterilize my substrate. I'm gonna probably use buckets, drill the holes in the buckets. We're gonna go that route. You know what I'm saying? I have got to get some mushrooms. Why? Because I want to, right? Why not? I want to grow them things. And I like mushrooms. I've never had oyster mushrooms for real, so. New experience, new experience. All right, that's looking pretty good. Some of these, okay. Yeah, I see Robin. Then you're gonna be friends. And you are gonna be internet gardening buddies. It ain't like I really know what I'm doing for real, I'm just getting out here playing in the dirt, seeing what happens, seeing what don't happen, trying to learn from it, trying to do something different, that kind of rap. Let's see how it goes. Kind of my parent approach. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure it out. Right. Whoa, sit, boo boo, sit. Ooh, good boy. All right. Get up in here. Come on, get up in here. Did I leave anything else up? Yeah. Stick you up in here too. We ain't gonna put your little pot in the ground yet though. Him little. We gonna put them on the ground though. Get up in there. Get up in there. All I'm really doing when I'm planting this is just trying to disturb the soil so I can kind of just place it in there and kind of firm it up. I mean, it's only like yay tall, so it's not much crown. You know what I'm saying? I have to worry about burying that crown, so. Let's see what we got here. Whoa. Mine too. Whoa. Okay. Laws are surrounding going off the compost. I did not do anything except water. That's what's up. So you just naturally had that fungus around. That's what's up, man. I love it. Oh, I so love it. I hope we find some property that has like chanterelle mushrooms on it. I heard you can't really cultivate those. Can't really plant them. They just grow wherever they grow, and they grow year after year. Never had one of those either. I also heard you can sell them. The selling part is cool. I really like to just grow this stuff for real. It's not the only type that grows out of my compost laws. What? I just play with the dirt. Oh, yeah, I know, right? You have gardening education. You have gardening education because you've gotten out there to do it. You have the best gardening education, right? School of hard knocks, getting out there and doing it, learning. So yeah. Don't take away from what you have, man. I have to make sure I do the same thing. Because everybody always talk about how much you know. I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. I'm still learning. But you do have to take the small victories. You may not have a formal education, but you have an education. If you've gone through and tried and learned something, you got an education. That's all education is. For whatever reason, we feel like it has to be formalized and somebody has to be standing there and telling us what to do. But nah, education happens all the time. Learning happens all the time. Depending on what it is, people learn different. There's three different ways to learn stuff. You're either an auditory learner, a visual learner, or a kinesthetic learner. A kinesthetic learner is somebody who has to do it. And depending on what it is, that's honestly a lot of us. A lot of us are visual and a lot of us are kinesthetic. There's some people, I learn always, honestly. Depending on what the subject is, I have a better time learning one method or the other. Alright. How we looking? I hate that I ain't streamed earlier part of this week. That weather was weird. We kept getting rain at late night, early morning, but not enough to actually water the garden though. So just enough to keep me from being out here. All right, that looks pretty good. So we gonna move this thing around. We gonna do some crazy stuff, flipper ripper. We gonna flip this around, let y'all see what this looking like. So this is what this looks like. So what'll happen is, oh my God, what's gonna happen? Because I do want to add soil to this, and I do not want to uproot all these strawberries to do so. Because it is a chance they may not come back. The other option is just to add soil, and if stuff is too low, it's too low. It'll die, and then next season they'll outrun us to replace those. We're gonna just let it see. I really don't know how I'm gonna do this just yet. So those are the options in my head currently. It's just to add soil. If it's too low, it's too low. I mean, if the soil goes up too high and the plants are too low, it's too low. Then again, get off me. Another pine needle sticking. Um, then again, I may just add more soil in the ones that are low, raise the height. We're gonna see. I don't know. And honestly, I try one being different, another, what I'm saying, the other being a different way. So then that way, I will have two experiments, and we'll see which one works best. All right, same thing for now. The stuff that's growing around the bend, the dead stuff, you could. I mean, I technically could leave it because this is the walkway. You can fertilize the walkway, but at the same time, dead strawberry leaves look like dead strawberry. And it's compostable material. I honestly would rather remove it here and put it in the compost as opposed to letting compost fall on the ground while I'm not growing food. Sounds kind of weird. The soil still needs to be fed. But you don't have a finite amount of compost, sir. Right, today's Friday. I'm just going to have it off. Got this project done. Reach out to some folks. It's gonna be Friday, bro. It is. Pretty sure everybody's had a long, productive, maybe stressful, but hopefully productive. Hopefully not stressful week. Alright. Oh, we'll be checking our worm towers too. Probably not once, probably not every stream. Not unless you guys ask, but just once a week or so to kind of see how it breaks down, how long it takes. I truly don't know how long it takes. I mean, I am a set it and forget it type person. Like, I put that stuff there. I will feed it from time to time. Usually when I'm working in the bed, I'll pop the top and just drop stuff in there as I'm working in the bed. An easy way to come up with free compost. uh, but I don't know how long it takes for it to be ready. Another time. Like I said, I just put it in there. And once I look in there and I see mostly soil looking stuff, which is worm compost, worm casting, I remove the undigested, uneaten plant matter and clean it out. And I always leave a little bit of the compost at the bottom. The compost has been inoculated with the right microbes to break down stuff. So if you leave a little bit, then you have material there that's ready to inoculate whatever else you put in. Alright, now it's on to this one. Now what I didn't do is I didn't put this back in the ground in any capacity. That's what I didn't do. Alright, let's do this. Let's cut this off. Shorten that up. We'll just put you right here. Look right there. Just a little blue. We have to put the stem put it on the ground so we survive the blue. Alright. Kind of firm that up to help that stand up. Oh, you know what I also found out? Birds are a pain in the butt when it comes to doing this. I don't know if they look like worms to the birds or what, but they'll just come out and snatch my runners out the ground because technically the runners need to sit on top of the ground. I mean, because and I just buried that thing. I hope you guys know what a strawberry runner look like. I'm trying to find one. It's not attached to anything. Good luck, son. Good luck, son. They are all attached. But a strawberry runner is a vine that comes from the strawberry plant, and it creates a new little plant, right? So it goes off the plant, and this is a runner that's gotten beads, and it creates another little plant. This grows from the plant, and it's small when it starts off. It sits on the ground, roots into the ground, and it starts to grow another strawberry. That's the way strawberries propagate, by creating runners. And usually me as a grower, I come through, pop these off, and I put them in another location to where I can't get them root. Year before last, I think I had about 200 of these. I was trying to figure out how to mass propagate them. This year I hadn't had the success. I think I've just been trying when it's hot, too hot. Like I try to propagate all year round, even when I know most people say you can't, or it's hard. And the reason is because it's hard to control the climate of something with no roots when it's 95 degrees outside, unless you got some climate control way of doing it. I don't. I have a garage. Like I said, I live in the subdivision, so I don't have a greenhouse. We got a covered. If I knew we were gonna be growing food, I would have picked a different subject. One that was okay with chickens and greenhouses and something. Or I would do what I'm doing now. Bide my time, start off something small, so when we do get more money, I do have. I'm not coming in totally. I still would be green to how to manage and deal with that much land, but some of the basics I would have learned. Here's the board part again. Now I have another set of these bins that I split in half and I grew strawberries in, and the other one out there in the other part of the yard is doing like the same. One bin is looking good, one bin is looking spark. I need to check to see if this is the bottom, this is the top. I need to see if the top piece on the other end of the garden, out there in the outer rim, if it's looking the same. And if it is, it's probably because this is enclosed at the bottom. This is connected directly to the soil. So most of the water and stuff that I give here, it comes out of the drainage holes, but a lot of it stays here. This is directly connected to the ground. So when it needs water, it needs water. Let's see. Alright, just checking the stream, just trying to make sure I'm attentive. How we gonna move? I'm reaching. Wrench. Can I wrench that camera? Let's see. We're gonna do it. It's my time. Cosmos need to be dead here. They have enough flush. And the grass. Let's leave these out of here. But these is more, it seems to be more just pruning off some ugly. This seems to be more cosmetic than good. I'm looking for the dead material first. So I'm learning that the strawberries kind of hang over the edge of the pot. So checking the edges of the pot for the dead stuff first, not a bad thing. Look at here. This one here might just make it. Let's see. Pretty much everything's dead except for the growth to the center part, the crown seems to still be green, so it's a good chance that this may make it. Now with me just snatching about the ground like that, we're gonna just stick it right here. We're gonna just stick it right here in front of me in the ground, because the plan is to as it come through, pull some of these out of here. Let's see how that's gonna work. Probably not well in the shade, but then again, maybe. I'm finding out this year there are a lot of plants that like shade. More shade than you would think. We find out that patchouli doesn't mind being in the shaded area. Lemon balm doesn't mind being in the shaded area. Several mints that we have. The banana mint is growing well. The orange mint is growing well. We have some pizza that's growing well in the shaded area. Like the grass don't even go very well in that area around the house, but the trees. The orientation of the house in relation to the path of the sun. But we do find out that something well in the shade. Pleasantly surprised. I think we found out that I'm not gonna say lemon balm doesn't like all that sunlight, but it did much better once we put her in a shadier spot. Oh, strawberries don't like a lot of sun. I mean, they can say what they want to say. I found out if they get some shade after lunchtime here, they do better. Because we have strawberries in several different places, because I wanted over 100 on the homestead when I was starting out. And I think with cheese that go without counting. So we have them in multiple places. And one place up inside the house, next to the water hydrant, water faucet. Excuse me. That part of the yard doesn't get a lot of sun after lunchtime. Those strawberries plants were the biggest. The strawberries were about the same size, but the plants were the biggest. And Like I honestly say, that part of the garden gets the least amount of treatment. I very rarely water that spot. What's growing over there is chocolate mint and strawberries. Uh, and some other stuff. I think it's some lantana in there. We planted some mullein in there. I don't think but like three of them grew. I think they might have died. But the plan was to have two different kinds of mint that don't look the same, so I can easily identify them and grow mint and strawberries up in that area. We use a lot of mint medicinally and in the garden, so we grow a lot of it. We grow it in the ground. And we grow it in several beds too. One bed has that bed has chocolate mint by that water hydrant. Clayface has peppermint in it. Nowhere has spearmint in it. Yeah, those are the only beds that we have mint growing in the beds as opposed to a pot. The ones I'm referring to are front, they're all in pots. Banana, we got banana mint. We got banana mint in the other bed called the nothing. It's unintentional. Didn't intentionally try to plant mint in the bed. I was emptying some soil. I thought the banana mint died. It grows slow. It grows super slow. I thought it had died. So I dumped half of the pot out and I realized it was roots still at the bottom of the pot. I know mint. I know if there's some roots, the mint's still alive. So I quit. Put the pot down, watered it, put a little bit more soil on the top. A couple of weeks later, it started growing again. About a month after that, I realized it was growing in that bed too. So I didn't put it out. I just left it. It grows slow, and it doesn't really run like other mints. Like I can't say how banana mint grows for certain. I can't say that it doesn't run through its rhizome, through its root system, but it doesn't want to like. It was laid out, so I was just messing with it. I come to find out, it's just sprawled out. It's kind of uprightish, and so it grows like that. Apple mint kind of grows like that too. It wants to grow vertically. It likes this kind of stand up and be tall, and little furry leaves, and not really lay down much. So I'm okay with that. Alright, finishing up here. Don't look like we're gonna get a chance to make it out to the other part of the garden. But yes, we are. What time? Let's see what time. Cause I ain't picking the okra. You gonna see we got some okra. I kind of jumped straight into the sugarcane and the work. When you picking okra, you don't have to pick okra once or twice a day. For us, it seems to be once a day. And I've been dehydrating the okra, making some little okra snacks. I don't know if we're gonna sell them at the farmers market here. But I made a savory kind the first time. I think like a Cajun season. That was good. This time I did like a dessert jam. I just cut up the okra in little, I don't know, half-inch little pieces, and then I coated them in brown sugar. Brown sugar. What did I use for that? Brown sugar, a little bit of salt, and some cinnamon. Yeah, and a little bit of nutmeg. And it turned out like little crunchy cinnamon rolls. We gonna test them out on the nieces. The nieces are supposed to come over today sometime after lunch for a little bit, and so we're gonna try it out with them. We're gonna see if they like it. We're gonna try it out with our kids to see if they like it. The youngest, he tried it last night, and I was actually surprised he ate it. I was like, "You like this?" He's like, "Yeah, what is it?" I was like, "Oh," he kind of had that look. I was like, "Yeah, that's dope." It's like, it ain't bad. So at least they'll try it. They ain't kids. Never those teenagers. So it's a little bit different. They are a little bit more open to try something next time. But for the most part, they ain't trying to eat that weird stuff. We may be predominantly plant-based, but they still like it to eat. But that doesn't sound right. They still eat beef and pork. And we do offer healthier options for them. We eat turkey mostly. I eat turkey. Yeah, we eat turkey mostly. So we do offer it. Sometimes they get down with it, sometimes they don't. This age, as long as they trying some different stuff, that's more like that. Man, we tried different stuff too, man. My parents were diabetic, high blood pressure. So my mom always was food conscious. We tried a bunch of different things throughout the years. Some of them good, some of them less. But they were all experiences. It wasn't like none of them was scarring or anything. Alright. Alright. I hate to leave this undone to go do something else. So, yeah, my okra. My okra. And what is my okra? OCD. Now we starting to pull leaf litter. When I say leaf litter, this ain't the leaves that I use the most, but a lot of the strawberry leaves that tell me what they're supposed to. The plant's tall, the leaves can be down. That's cool. That look good. That doesn't look like fog. Now, what I didn't do was check the soils. Also check my blood sugar by the hour. See how this sugar cane affect me. Cause I've eaten several pieces, but it doesn't taste that sweet. If you ever diabetic or dealt with diabetes, then you know different foods affect people different. So see how it affects you. I know my mom, when I was young, I don't think she could eat a lot of popcorn without it adversely affecting her blood sugar. I ain't really had that problem. Not with popcorn. But bananas though, I ate half a banana, my blood sugar would be 400. So go figures. I'm not sure bananas mess with her like that. Of course, foods have different glycemic loads, but even then, it's still gonna affect you differently. So just find out. If you are diabetic, eat some food. First of all, I'm not a medical professional, it's just my experience. So when I was figuring it out, I'd eat some food, check my blood sugar in an hour. If I'm not mistaken, it should be below 140 in an hour if you're not diabetic. Well, even if you are diabetic and you're treating your stuff properly, it should still be under 140 an hour after you eat. If that number is changed, again, I'm not a medical professional. Okay. Some of these look bad, but okay. We're good. We go eat. Let's see what we got here. Okay, cool. Flipper Ripper. Oh, we are at that hour mark. So yeah, not bad. This one looks thin. Not really tripping. Actually, when I'm saying that looks thin, that looks ready to go. This one really needs to be thinned out. You know what I'm saying? On the real. This needs to be, because I think you're supposed to put strawberries a foot apart. And I'm about to be paying attention to that for real. So your boy don't know. All right, we're gonna take this over here though. And you know what? We're gonna just do a quick little peruse, and we're gonna end this thing, cause I need to go see what the okra look like, cause we will have okra to take to the market tomorrow. But let's go. We filled up the worm towers that we have, so we can just put that free compost up in there. Gotta close that loop, baby. All right, let's see. Period here, looking pretty good. Oh yeah, big, looking pretty good. First time growing you. We're gonna try to overwinter you too. Yes, we are. Oh yeah, we're gonna collect some of your seeds too. Plant more of you. Yep. That's how we get out. And we got grapes growing in the we got grapes growing in this bed. I called myself trying to compost some grape sticks, and I guess they weren't dead, and they grew. I tried to cut them out last year, but they grew back. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna try it again this year. Here goes some pebbles. Ooh, I shouldn't even said this out loud. The squirrel kind of chilled out on our pebbles for a little bit. He was murking them. Y'all doing pretty good. Look at y'all. I'm so proud of y'all. I'm so proud of y'all. Good job. You too. Yeah. Even you look hanging. Hey, yes. You a soldier. That squirrel ate all your fruit. Yeah, he did. Man, I did not know squirrel eat red peppers. But that squirrel been effing these cayenne peppers up, bro. I'm talking about as soon as they turn red, he was on them. This was an Anaheim, has a few more flowers on it. Now this Anaheim here, I guess I harvested the last of the ripe ones. No, we got a couple. We got one that's just about ready. No, we got a couple. That's just about ready. I mean, they get a little bit big. I might let them go for another week because we still have some flowers that are gonna get pollinated and put out some more. This bell pepper, you looking good, buddy. You looking good. Some serranos. Y'all kind of playing out, ain't you? Yeah. Y'all put off well. Y'all put off well. And I got some I got some transplants for y'all. Not transplants, some propagations. I propagated this that serrano like I would a tomato. I didn't know if it would work or not. This a little sucker that I was gonna cut off low on the plant. Look like it live. So if I do it early enough in the summer, I can multiply my peppers that way. Because as you can see, I pretty much strip my peppers low on the plant. That's to allow airflow. So we don't start having mold issues. And these are poblanos. I don't know how big these will really get for real, because the squirrel. The squirrel kind of forces me to pick them at a smaller size. I was trying to let them get bigger. But all I was doing was feeding the squirrel. At least I will say this about the squirrel. He eats all the food. If he chew in a pepper and I throw it on the ground back there, that pepper ain't gonna be there the next day. He's gonna come back and get it. So I'm appreciative of the fact that he ain't wasting food. Got some bananas, banana peppers. All right, now this period here looks pretty bad. I think this was a double situation. I think two of them were planted close together. One of them looks like it's just gave up the ghost. So we're gonna go and get that little homie up out of there. Cause it had a couple little small peppers on it. We're gonna get that out of there. We're gonna get this out of there too. The callaloo's looking pretty good. All right, let's walk out here. Some more strawberries. We'll come through here and clean here too. That's what today is gonna be. Today is gonna be clean day. Um, I think the soil is still too wet out in fallen pines for me to be trying to move some soil. It's gonna be heavy. Let's see. Look at the tropical hibiscus. Got some pretty flowers just open. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna find a roselle hibiscus too to make that's where you get the red hibiscus from. I guess the hibiscus most everybody knows. Let's do this. So we're gonna find some roselle hibiscus and hopefully be growing that next season. Here the orchard, figs. In another couple of days, a couple of weeks, those aluminum foil things are air layers. They should be ready. Cadota fig, not Cadota figs. This is a LSU Gold. Just got this fig. This thing here dropping figs. Hadn't got a fig that was ripe just yet. That's not. We're not gonna even try to eat that. Nerd. But I've always wanted the LSU varieties of figs. So we have one LSU Gold. We're gonna find the other ones. The purple, the tiger, Scott's black. I think there might be a couple more. So yeah, everything's looking good over here. Alright, this stuff here. Once this dries out a bit and it's less heavy, we're gonna get back to finishing this particular bed. This bed we have peas in it. They didn't join it worth crap. But they were old seeds, so. And the only reason I'm really growing peas in here is so they'll fix the nitrogen to kind of get the soil prep for next season without having to just purchase and plant a cover crop. So right here I need to dig a trench on the back there, move all that soil to the inside. We'll slide that log and roll it. Then I'll cut some notches in it and do the same in this area. And then this bed will be finished-ish. We'll probably try to plant peas in here too, just for their nitrogen fixing properties. Oh, it is time to pick some more. So yeah, I'm about to end this stream, check a few things at work, and a little bit later come out here. Oh yeah, we got some nice size oak that needs to be harvested. Oh yeah, babe. And we got some leaves that need to be pruned too. Oh yeah, that's decent size. That's how I like my okra. About a good 4-5 inches. Yeah, that's good size. Now if they get bigger, we also make okra powder too. The ones that get big, because there are some days I don't come out here and pick okra. Like there's some days where we're busy and I'm not home. So if the okra gets big, I've been taking those and drying those out. We've been making okra powder. Oh, we got some new growth on the blueberries. That's what's up. Bro, I was wondering if you were gonna send out a new shoot. I was sure. So y'all send out new shoots in the fall? I'm still learning. I don't really know how these things grow for real. I'm learning blueberries. Y'all send out new. Oh, okay, I thought y'all did that in the spring. It's the fall I see. Cause you sent out one in the spring, but a bigger one in the fall. Yep. These are the two newest ones. This is a sunshine blue. You sent out a new tip a while ago, and then this is a pink lemonade. And then these are just straw. These are some strawberries. I'm not sure what kind they are. They're different than the other ones that we have though. Because while the other ones were growing and putting out fruit, while the other ones were putting out fruit, these were just growing. It was three of them in a pot. And I assume they were some alpine strawberries that we started from seed and that didn't start. And they started when they wanted to. Because we compost everything. Because that was like the only time, those were the only seeds that we tried. Everything else has been like a crown. Bare root. So I think they filled out. I need to come out here and propagate some of these. They still putting off runners. And they filled out this little space. Yeah. And that was supposed to be another uh, blueberry spot before we had the trees cut down. We already started packing in uh, grass clippings and pine straw. Not pine straw, pine bark. They just come off the trees. That's what we're gonna use. Pine bark nuggets are acidic. And so, just like we did here, surround the plant with pine bark nuggets, we're gonna do the same with these. I started here. I'm not even gonna pull the strawberries up. Well, I said I'm not. Blueberries have really shallow roots, so we're gonna see. But yeah, okay. Numbers of blackberries, gotta prune them gents up too. We'll have a stream on me pruning those too. Ugh. But yeah, everything's looking pretty good. So what we do with the old okra leaves. Even the ones out of damage, they start to dizzy. Drop them. In fact, drop all this in here. All right, get out of here, boy. You got something to do. All right, we're gonna go ahead and end this thing. I appreciate everybody for showing up, coming to holler at your boy, interacting in the chat. So y'all know how this goes. Do the YouTube thing, right? Like, subscribe, share, hit the bell notification. Hit the bell notification. Yeah. I am on Instagram, on IG as well. I suck at this. SUCKATTHISSS. Yes, I suck at this. So that's how we end this thing. Another good week in the books. We'll be at the farmers market on High Street in Jackson tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday, right? Yeah, 8 to 1. And we'll be back on stream Monday. Lord's willing, creator's willing. So we're gonna end this thing up. Y'all know how this goes. Create more than you consume. You don't have to suck at this, because I do. Y'all have a good one, all right? Peace. Boom.